Hello, and welcome to the third session of Masks: A New Generation. This is my Gauntlet Quarterly campaign, which means it's a game that's running on the Gauntlet Hangouts across all of Quarter 1. Means that we kind of have a shifting cast across the months, and we're trying to see, what some of the long form stuff does with masks. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. It's an online gaming community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We've got an amazing blog, and there's just a wonderful blog post up today by some dude. And we've got podcasts, and we've got a monthly zine that is unbelievably good. So there's a lot of great stuff there. So we're going to be taking up with our characters today. Again, reminder, X card is on the table. Especially important because Masks is a game about teens and teenagers, so that is a detail that is there. What I'm going to have the players do is do their quick 30-second pitch on themselves. We're going to follow up on something from last week that we kind of was pointed out, but maybe could have resolved, because there's some mechanics in here that are interesting that sometimes we forget. And then I'm going to set up where we are. So I'm going to start this week with you, Chris. Give us the 30-second pitch on who Overclock is, and then tell us where's my Overclock's head at right now.
Okay, Overclock is the Doomed playbook. He is he's infected with a futuristic techno-organic virus type thing that's basically nanites slowly taking over his body. They do allow him to do really cool super stuff, which he really likes. He is not fully understanding the extent of what is going to happen to him because of it, but he doesn't think it's going to be good. But I don't think he's really grasped the full extent of it yet. He is being slowly pursued by the Empyreonics, which is a collective intelligence from a dark technopocalypse future that is, through him, trying to infect the rest of the timeline with its, evil AI, future extermination of all organic life sort of interest.
And what is like the primary thing, the primary concern for Overclock right now that isn't super heroic?
I think number one, he's worried about exposing people to what's coming after him.
Okay.
That especially hit home after the events of the first session with Asphyxia basically effectively attacking the whole school to get at Overclock. Overclock sees that as like really his fault, and he is really worried about that sort of things getting sprung on them again. So last time he took the extraordinary and extraordinarily stupid step of trying to invade Eon and get access to their various monitoring and superhero databases to try and set himself up some sort of warning system through his sanctuary, so that he might know if more bounty hunter types from the future or more like time travel stuff happens, so he knows that something is coming before it like literally shows up at his school and starts gunning for him.
And I was thinking about this. I was chewing this over as you were saying this. I think you're right that you will mark one for your Doom track, because I think you did, maybe you were aiming towards working against your nemesis, indirect, and you didn't really succeed at it. So yeah, I think marking a mark on your Doom track is appropriate.
Yeah, I think I actually blew that roll hysterically, if I remember right. I think it was
yes, you did.
I think it ended up being like a 2.
Yeah, it was great. I was very happy with how that went. All right, so I'm going to move on to Mimic. Jesse, tell us about Mimic and how Mimic's feeling right now.
Sure. So Mimic, aka Ali Perez, This character is the Janus playbook, which the crux of that playbook is the difference between mundane, normal day-to-day life with family and cape life. So trying to keep those separate and the weird intersections they might have. Kind of the crux of the character at the moment is that that's such a real difficulty because the people in her life are very anti-cape. So mom hates capes in general. Best friend has a grudge actually against Mimic herself for a bit of a mishap that happened that affected her family. So that's a bit of a difficulty. As far as where she's at right now, after the last session, at the very end of it, she revealed her mundane identity to a team member, Gabriel, and I think is starting to emotionally get frustrated with people that wouldn't accept that. So I don't know if she's ready. She's not ready to, really kind of come out of the, just like show everyone who she is, but she's starting to get frustrated with the fact that some of the people in her life are so either anti-cape or anti-mimic herself.
Okay. That is awesome. And it was first session for Mimic last time, so I hope we got you rolled in there decently. We'll see about that. Let's come to Sarah Sparks and where Sarah's at.
Yeah, Sarah Sparks is the Legacy playbook. She's a third-generation superhero from a line of Captain America type heroes, except that her father actually became a dark vigilante called Night Terror, and she doesn't like him very much. He's not really a part of her life. She is the team leader, and last session, a couple of her teammates were having some insecurity issues. Mimic was insecure about her superpowers, and Gabriel was bullied by a fellow student, superpowered student named Bolt. So I arranged for a training session in which, as a surprise, we confronted Bolt's team and we challenged them basically to a competition to establish whether their criticism of our team was justified. And we beat them handily enough. So I am riding high right now.
Let me ask you a question. One of the things is, do you think at the end, given that we had the weirdness with Gabriel having apparently dissipated, do you think that the end of that was a moment of triumphal celebration for the group? Do you think it rose to that level?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I mean, I think it would be fair to call for a triumphant celebration. Like say that's all go out and celebrate.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is we're not going to roll necessarily back on that one, but I want to give each of you a potential. Go ahead and mark a potential because that's something I kind of went by where I should have stopped off on that. So I'm going to do that. And now you talked about for Overclock, that moment that you wanted to kind of look at in terms of your team move. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. At the very end of last session, Overclock went to Sarah and kind of gave her a very truncated rundown of what he's confronting as far as his powers and the Empyreonics and the connection to asphyxia. And he told her basically what he tried to do with Eon and admitted that he really screwed it up. And so now Eon has a closer idea of what's really what might be going on with him than he really wanted them to.
And so the question then is, you give them influence over you, and then ask if they honestly think there's hope for you.
Okay. I think Sarah already has influence over me, so I think that means that she would get to shift my labels.
Yep.
Yes.
And then she gets to answer the question.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say that there's definitely hope. I mean, we're facing a big problem with with Empyreonics, but it's a technical problem. We can find a solution. We can fix this thing. And I think I will shift your superior up and your freak down.
Okay.
Nice.
Right, and I got 5 potential Lowell, so I'm going to take a move from the protege playbook. I'm going to take the captain move. For when we enter battle as a team, we get an extra team in the pool and take +1 forward if I'm the leader.
Oh, very nice. Okay. So make sure you remind me about that, because that is one thing I should have done last time too, was when you guys fought Bolt, I should have built that team pool up, and we could have done that. So I got to remember to do those things. We will get.
Right. I mean, I'm not sure. I think maybe it's only when we're entering a dangerous situation.
Oh, I think you were in a battle against a dangerous foe. I think it would have risen to that level in the comic books. So that makes sense. So last time, Mimic returned to hear all about that great battle that had occurred at the school, the fight that had gone on. I did some news reports as well at the beginning of the session. Mimic returned back. There was discussion in the group about various things. Friend Janine tried to talk with you. You had Mimic had that encounter with Sarah Sparks. Sarah Sparks asked her to go. Rather, Molly asked her to go to this exhibition with the gorillas on ice, and you had to kind of turn down Janine at that point, which then put Janine in Gabriel's path and caused Gabriel some heartache there. Overclock, as we said, broke into Aeon and did pretty well. Got in, but then when needed to get to the stuff to get to the computers, was caught by Dr. Alset, who had been introduced in session 1, who is a research scientist of some status within Aeon. And he was not sinister at all in his discussions with Overclock, and in fact, very friendly, and offered to help Overclock find out the information, and said that he would work on that and everything would be cool. Of course, then we got to that scene when we returned back to school with our team fighting against Bolt's team and defeating them handily, and Gabriel essentially dying, burning herself out, and then reforming at the end of the session with a different form. And there were some discussions on that, and we had a little teaser bit at the end of the session with Dr. Alset reviewing the footage. You're not sure in real time or not, of the fight between your team and Bolt's team from the school. And that's where we sort of left off. John, are you ready enough? You can give us a rundown on your character?
I think so.
Okay.
So my character is Dynamo, which his real name is Aaron Allen Anthony. He is very well known, or at least was up until very recently. He was a member of the group Break 23. And you guys, in the past episode, you had a story about how Break 23 had their entire online identities stolen by Ghoster. So I thought it would be fun to go with that, as he was part of this group. After everything that happened, they decided to break up. His dad moved him back to Gauntlet City and got him involved with the school, and basically he's trying to rebuild now. He's doing Instagram videos and trying to rebuild his celebrity. He has a new new outfit that's nice and sleek and red and blue with big lightning bolts on his shoulders.
Had a designer come in, a consultant, image consultant come in and redesign that. Okay. So tell us about Dynamos Powers.
Dynamo has electric powers, so he can blast things, fly around, form kind of like a electro shield around him, that type of thing.
Okay. And what did you take for your star moves?
For my star moves, I took. Did it go away? No. Stage fighting. So when I engage a threat with an audience watching, I can mark a condition to roll superior instead of danger, and the gossip mags. So I still have some of my celebrity contacts that I can look into important city figures.
Let's talk about your backstory. So tell me about Break 23. I've described it as an American version of a K-pop band made up of superheroes. What was Break 23 like?
Well, their public persona was that they were all like absolute best friends and did everything together and got their powers all at the same time. But that was just a complete cover story. Actually, they were, people that were found and brought together to be part of this group. And they just, everyone had a different personality. Like, I was played up as being really the soulful one and
doing a lot of this. Okay. Yeah. All right. Somebody else was the bad boy. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Was that something you dug? Did you enjoy it? Was it something you liked, that life?
It had definitely the appeal, of getting to travel everywhere and do all kinds of amazing things. But I really actually wanted to be a hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was, they did K-pop style stuff. So was that all completely dubbed over? Or can you sing and dance?
Completely dubbed.
Okay. All right. So you know how to do choreography, but you don't know how to actually sing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavily auto-tuned.
Okay. All right. And at some point I'll have you come up with the names of the other three members of the group, because of course we'll want to have them referred to. What do you tell people about how you got your powers?
So like I said, the story was that we were all high school friends and that there was an accident at a factory that gave all of us our powers. But really I've had them since I was a kid.
Okay. So it's something that popped up in your family. Was it unusual, or is there any kind of history of weirdness in your family?
It was unusual.
Okay. But people believe that you and your friends were on a school tour of a factory when the event went down. Okay, because that's where schools go on field trips. All right. Who outside of the team supports your burgeoning star in every way possible?
My dad that moved me back here. He's really the one that pushed me to do the star superhero thing. So he still really pushes for it.
So he's very much the actor dad kind of thing. Okay. And what's his name?
That's a good question. Let's see. Let's say Paul. Just Paul Anthony.
Okay. And he what does he think is going to happen here?
Well, he's kind of been riding my coattails for the most part. Like I get to travel and do these all things, and as my manager, he's gotten to travel along and go to all the nice hotels and everything, just like I have. So he's like, yeah, you'll be a star again, and we'll get you all over the place again, and it'll be great. You'll love it.
Who outside the team loathes what you represent? Is it another member of the team? Is it a reporter? Is it someone who was spurned on social media? Is it a dark super?
Yeah, I kind of want to say that it is Breaker. He was another member of Break 23.
Okay.
That was even more so about the celebrity than I was.
Why does he loathe you?
Because I when everything kind of fell apart, it was just like, we can keep doing this, and he's like, no, it's completely pointless. It's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, he's got some dark stuff he's dealing with.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to figure out, sort of hard framing wise.
Okay.
And I want to suggest this as a means to connect you to the group. This group has been in operation for a couple of months here in Gauntlet City. So I was thinking that that either Break 23 as a whole, or you personally, had a guest appearance in one of their earlier issues. Do you think it was just you, or do you think it was you and the whole Break 23 team?
In a previous issue, it definitely would have been the whole team.
Okay. So what was it that crossed Break 23's path with our unnamed teen superhero group, by the way?
Break 23 cross paths with the heroes because I kind of want to picture it like a Scooby-Doo episode almost.
Okay.
Like, this is our very special guest showing up. So like there was going to be a concert or like some kind of special benefit that that something happened and they got involved to stop it.
Let me ask Sarah Sparks, what do you think of this whole Break 23 supergroup celebritydom thing?
I mean, I absolutely loved them. I mean, I was sort of heartbroken when they broke up, and I've got to say, I have a bit of a crush on Dynamo.
Okay. Overclock, how do you feel about these handsome pop superheroes that just kind of strolled into your team?
Well, obviously, as the team's resident goth/emo, Overclock hates them.
Okay.
He hates them as Will, and he hates them as Overclock.
Okay, so you get the two sides of that. All right, perfect. And what about Mimic?
I think Mimic likes Dynamo, but looks at the whole situation, that they had going, and is like how much, realizes how much more trouble she would have had, maintaining her secret identity with that kind of thing. She's like, I cannot understand why someone would do that, but Dynamo seems all right.
And so we'll assume that when you returned recently to Gauntlet City, Sarah Sparks is certainly the most visible of the team, and you would have made arrangements to get in touch with her. Does that seem fair?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And you've worked with them briefly during this team up. Let's look at the relationship questions here. Blank might wind up being more of a star than me someday.
Initially put Mimic, but I think I'm gonna have to say Sarah Silver, since she's already kind of has the legacy and is already established.
Sarah, do you correct him on the last name?
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
my idea is that you do
yes.
definitely say that. Oh yeah, Sarah Silver, she's
yes.
great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the first
Sparks.
time, yeah, yeah. When we met, he was calling me Sarah Silver, and I was like, my heart broke a tiny bit. I didn't say anything.
And then blank would be a great sidekick. I try to keep them around.
Mimic.
She's got a kind of a street look
Yeah.
there with the goggles and things like that. Okay. How do you see the team as a means to an end or something worthwhile on their own?
I'm gonna say as something worthwhile.
Okay. So maybe your dad sees them as a means to the end, but maybe you see them as worthwhile. Okay.
Absolutely.
Then you will give influence to all three of your teammates here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that is good. And you took a new move. Then Chris, which one did you take?
I took the burn move from the Nova playbook and 3 flares.
Okay.
So that is, he chose as his flares worship, which allows him to do a tremendous display of power to awe an audience into silence, respect, or attention when I unleash my powers. He also chose overcharge, which allows him to spend 2 burn to take an automatic 10+ whenever he unleashes his powers. And elemental awareness, which allows him to spend 1 burn to mark a condition to open your mind to the world around you with your powers. And you can ask any one question about the world around you, and the GM will answer honestly.
Okay, that seems good. Dynamo, do you have a secret or a public identity?
Public.
Okay. So when you go to the metahuman magnet school, everybody knows who you are, right? Okay. And I imagine your first couple days there are all about figuring out the packing order and so on. Molly, how would you have dealt with that?
I think, as Molly, I would have tried not to get too close to him. I don't want to draw attention to myself as Molly, and I think I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him as Sarah yet. I mean,
Okay.
I figure he's probably forgotten me.
Yeah, I called and said wanted to join the team, but then you haven't really followed up on that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And let me ask this: Allie or Will, would either of you approach this stunning, celebrity student?
Whatever. No.
Okay.
Not out of costume. Yeah.
Okay. And Allie? No, not at all.
Not out of costume. No, not unless we had classes together or something like that. Yeah.
So Sarah, let me ask you, do you want to do a once around of people's things? Do you want to start with the group together in a team moment? How would you like to do that?
I mean, how about we've gone to the Sky Lounge for a celebration after we had our big victory over the team, and Dynamo is there as well.
Okay.
It's this teen nightclub that caters to teenagers and superheroes.
Okay. Not quite the sort of the street level one. I'm assuming there's one there, but this is the fancier one.
Oh yeah, this is the flying one.
Okay. All right. So how do you get up to this place? Is there like a teleporter beam, or do they fly you up, or what?
Well, teleporter frame.
Okay.
I mean, you step through a doorway and you're there.
Okay. Overclock, Mimic, have either of you ever been here before?
Definitely not. No, I look. So, quick question though: are we in costume still?
Yeah, we'll assume
Oh,
you're
yeah,
in costume.
yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, I think I think I'm very uncomfortable. Kind of, arms crossed, across my chest, shoulders hunched a little forward. I don't look comfortable here yet. That's for sure.
What sort of dance club is this? Is this like, that's going to really depend on that's going to really impact whether Overclock has been there or not.
It's for superheroes. They have probably an adult section, and they probably have the teen, virgin drinks area with the dance floor and things like that. It's probably an adult's version of what a teen club should be.
So they probably play like popular, like poppy happy music.
Yeah, like Break 23 and those kinds of bands, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Overclock probably has not been there.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. And it's like they generally comp the cover charge for superheroes and give them reasonable amount of free drinks, because the superheroes are the draw for this club.
Maybe they have an alternative night.
Yeah. And people probably pay premium to come up and hobnob with the supers here. So when they arrive, what is the panel? What do we see Dynamo doing? Are you signing autographs? Are you singing? Are you doing karaoke? Are you dancing? Are you by yourself in a booth? What do we see?
Let's say there's like a small crowd around him, like 2 or 3 people, and he's signing autographs and kind of, oh, thank you. No, it's no big deal. Thank you. I'm so happy to. Yes.
And if you kind of look past them, you will see Sarah Silver and her team arrive. You hadn't had a chance to actually meet with her yet. You'd asked about joining the team, but now maybe might be the opportunity.
Okay, so I'll kind of, excuse myself away from everybody and Sarah, hi, Dynamo.
Yeah. And I'm bouncing up and down because I didn't really think he remembered me. So yeah.
I had emailed you. I'm moving into Gauntlet City, and I wanted to, maybe meet up with you guys. If you want, I can let you talk to my agent. We can maybe get your image going a little bit more, or if not, hey, I just I know you guys. I've seen some of Mimic's videos, so I know that you guys are doing good stuff. So yeah, I'd like to work with you if I can.
Definitely. Oh, that would be so exciting.
Oh, excellent.
We're all big fans.
Oh, wonderful, cool. Yeah, like I said, I've seen a couple of videos. I'm not, familiar with everybody in your group.
Good. Yeah. I mean, this is Mimic. I mean, Mimic has, she can absorb the properties of substances that she touches, and she is like so fast. It's like she teleports, and Overclock.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think Mimic kind of grabs, maybe a glass of like some kind of beverage in her hand, turns into glass as well as the cup as she's sipping on it.
That is really neat. And
oh yeah, and Overclock, he is a technological human hybrid. He is super powerful. He's one of our real heavy hitters on the team.
Oh, okay, that's really cool. And you have a really interesting look. Yeah, it's a very standout. I can appreciate that.
And that like Will sort of puffs up a little bit, and he's still in the armor, so him puffing up may or may not be visible. But he says, "Yeah, thanks. You're not bad. You're not bad yourself. Remember what you did last time."
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Like I said, I'm so excited to get to work with you guys again. You just did such a fabulous job that, I'm so excited about it. By the way, this is all going on Instagram right now.
At which point Mimic kind of recoils and steps back and is like looking around like who's watching and just like really uncomfortable about that.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of visible media presence.
So I will turn and like wave to the cameras and point to my new friend Sarah.
Right, and I'm grinning like an idiot.
That makes perfect sense there.
Yes, I'm grabbing a selfie.
Okay.
In the picture, the most you would see is like a Mimic's arm or something maybe to the side, but she's behind everybody intentionally.
Yeah, and Will is acting really awkward now because he's like, "Oh, Sarah's really into him."
And you will sit. They will bring some drinks over, and you will share a celebration. What do you tell? How do you describe your battle there to Dynamo?
Yeah. Oh, I thought it's like, yeah. There were these other kids in school. They were, I mean, they're not so much, but they were like bullying one of our other teammates, Gabriel. She's not here right now, but like, I mean, I think you got to stand up for yourself, right? You can't just let people shove you around. So it's like we just challenged them to a training session, see who was better, and we stomped them. We were so everyone on the team was just fantastic. I mean, Mimic here, she was amazing, and at the end, Overclock, he just burst into action and just took out the last few opponents all by himself. It was great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Where's your Gabriel? Are they here?
No,
Yeah, they definitely
Gabriel.
wouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel. Gabriel is non-organic, so she actually doesn't really go for these nightclubs. I mean, especially with all the disco lights. She says they tickle.
That's a shame. It's really a good, to get you out in front of the people. They gotta see you doing it. So they really know all the hard work that you're doing.
Right. Yeah, and Sarah is just nodding because, I mean, she knows all about public relations. A third generation superhero.
That makes sense. So let me suggest, as you are sitting there, you will see a hero come down from essentially the adult side and is kind of moving to exit and kind of sees you. And you will see this superhero, Will Force. They've got kind of a sort of a combat jacket kind of look. They've got, a mask. Very, very simple. That what they do is essentially they create weapons and objects, just sort of imaginary, that are there, kind of thing. And they will walk over to where you're at, and he will say, "Sparks."
Yeah. Yes. And do I know him?
You tell me. Have you met Will Force before? He's a relatively new hero. The most recent thing you heard was about his battle with Dane Canada that didn't go well.
Yeah, I don't know him.
He says, "Do you know where Flag Waver is?"
Why would I know that? So I don't think I'm publicly part of the legacy, right? Yet.
I thought that was part of the thing that at least it was hinted at.
I mean, it's sort of hinted at, but it's never been publicly acknowledged. I think.
Right. We talked about that as
There's speculation.
being known in the superhero community, though.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Says, okay, well, however you want to play that. Dame Canada is going to be a problem, and she's not going to stop until Flagwaver comes out and deals with him, deals with her. So, just passing that along.
I'll pass that along if I see him.
Kind of looks down. That sort of clearly wants to say some more, but you've got friends there, and doesn't want to particularly publicly call you out. So he will nod, and will walk away to the teleporter to leave.
I think at this point, Overclock sort of leans into Sarah like as an aside and say, "Yeah, Dame Canada might terrifyingly like give other people like necessary health care or something."
Yeah. I mean, and I whisper. I whisper back. I mean, she is really a big threat. I mean, he's right. Somebody is going to have to deal with Dame Canada sooner or later, but it's not going to be my granddad, because Overclock does know that I'm part of the legacy.
Well, why don't you guys take care of it? I can help you out. It'd be a high-profile case for us to jump right into.
Well, and if we, yeah, I mean that would be great. I mean, she's been lying kind of low since the last job she did. But I mean, if you want, I mean, we can set up a news alert and here. I mean, and I get out my cell phone and we start trading contents. We start trading cell phone numbers. It's like, yeah, let's set up a text alert.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, you guys can celebrate. How long do you stay here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the weekend, so we can stay out late. It's not a school night, so yeah. I mean, I think we stay out like 11:30.
Okay. Do which of you have to call home? But to tell people where you are.
Definitely me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Will.
Okay. So Will, you'll call home, and your mom will pick up, and we'll say, "Where are you at?"
I just went out with a couple of friends after school.
Who and where are you at?
Oh, you remember, Molly and Allie and everybody.
It's a school night.
A school night? I thought it wasn't a school night. Am I?
Yeah, I mean, I just said that it wasn't a school night, but
I know.
Okay.
Mom, it's Friday, right?
Oh, geez, I thought it was Wednesday.
Yeah, I know you guys have been super busy, so.
Yeah, that's really weird. Donald, we don't have to go to recital tonight. That was Wednesday. Wednesday. All right. Well, you get home, and she seems a little off. Okay, I will talk with you later.
Crap! Backtrack. I think, did we establish? I know Will doesn't know who Sarah is. I think he just picked out some random people that his parents might have met from school.
Right. I assume he knows. So yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. Yeah. That seems
Sarah knows who Will is and who Overclock is, but Overclock has no idea that Sarah Sparks is Molly.
at some point we'll map this all out. It will be very confusing.
Yes.
All right. And so you will call home as well then, Allie?
Yeah. I think just to kind of I have to let I think my mom's okay with me being out on a weekend night like this, but I definitely have to call in and check in, kind of deal, So yeah, I think I would call in.
Where are you at?
I'm just out with a friend. We just kind of went out for a little bit of food at like one of those 24-hour diners down the street,
Don't tell me you're eating at Denny's.
Well, Denny's it is. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Who are you with?
I look around and I think this is like I kind of like almost step into like hopefully another quieter part of the area. I'm like, I'm just out with Janine. It's just the two of us.
She says, well, that's interesting because Janine stopped by about an hour ago to see where you were.
I think she just kind of like doesn't know how to respond to that yet. Yeah, just kind of a bunch of ums
and she says, I think that you need to come home.
I think I kind of look plaintively at the others and I'm like, okay, I was just, and I think
behaving very strangely and you need to come home.
Okay, Mom, I'll be right there. And I think I hang up and I look at the rest. I'm like, guys, I gotta go. I am in trouble.
Like big trouble? Like, do we need to help or?
No, I think that would make things worse. I just have to go home and probably get grounded for the rest of my life. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah,
sucks.
Your family doesn't support you? That's awful.
If my family had any idea who I was with a cape on, I don't think I'd have a family.
Oh, my dad practically forces me to be out here.
Yeah, his phone is pinging because his dad is taking all the feed from here and posting it on multiple sources right now.
Like, that sounds like a pretty good problem to have. Well, I guess I better go. I'll hopefully see you all at school or later this weekend if I can somehow get out. I don't know.
Yeah. I give Mimic a hug and I pat her on the back and I whisper in her ear, "Don't worry, it'll be all right."
Yeah. I just give a quick thanks, Sarah, and I wave and I kind of turn to walk out and start heading home.
Okay. Sarah, do you call? Does your mom expect you to call, or what is that relationship like?
Normally I would just text.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm sort of. I overheard a bit of Will's call, and I'm sort of puzzled. So I'm going to call I'm just going to call my mother and check to make sure that she doesn't think it's Wednesday too. Yeah.
And she'll say, "Yeah. Why are you calling? So, do you need me to come pick you up?"
No. I just wanted to let you know that I might be out a little late, 11 or 11:30.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I might have crashed by then, depending on how much wine I drunk.
That's fine. That's fine. Love you, Mom.
I love you too. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm just a little cautious when it comes to temporal anomalies.
Fair enough.
Never know.
So you guys will stay there till 11:30. With the social media presence going up, a lot of the other teen heroes who might have maybe not come by to talk to you all before will kind of circulate over to the table now that Dynamo's here. Come over and certainly say hello, and you can see your social social cred rising up a little bit just from his presence there.
Yeah, I'll I'll just kind of talk to people. Yeah, I'm going to be working with them. The what's your guys' group name again?
Uh, we haven't really come up with a team name. I mean, we're just the team.
The team. Yeah, I'm so excited to be part of the team. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very minimalist.
Yes. Let's do mimic, and then let's kind of maybe check in and do individual scenes, sort of following this. So, Allie, what is going home like for you? Do you get changed like right away and then ride, or do you use your powers to get home quickly?
So I mean, I know I have my my street clothes probably stashed somewhere in a backpack behind a bush or something like that, and I probably do go into the Denny's to into the bathroom to change in there or something like that. I probably sneak in or something, but yeah, actually not. People would see me in costume and then leave. No, I change in like an alleyway or something like that.
Okay.
Then I think I slowly walk home. It's probably not that far, so but I'm just kind of trying to draw it out because I know that I'm dead meat. So probably takes me maybe probably would normally be a 15-minute walk. Probably takes me 20, 25, something like that.
And when you get back, is it a house? Is it an apartment? What is it? What do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it's probably I think it's an apartment, but it's a nice one. Mom's a CPA. We're doing all right, but we're pretty, but yeah, just a small family. So,
well, I think I saw that you have an older brother.
Yeah.
How much older?
I'd say so I'm like 15-ish. I'd say 18. I think he's probably a senior in high school.
Does he go to the magnet school, or does he go to a regular school?
Yeah, he goes to the magnet school. I think we both do.
All right. And he slips out in the morning before your mom gets up, so she doesn't give him that talk. So your mom is there, and she is waiting, and you got a choice. You can try and deal with her. You can tell she's going to push on your buttons, or you could try and slip past her. You've got mild-mannered.
I do. I think I know that I do, that if I don't face the music, I'm going to be even in more trouble than I already am. Whether I tell her the truth now or not is another issue, but I have to at least deal with this. I know. So I think I'm going to come in and just say, hi, Mom.
So what's going on with you and Janine?
What do you mean? I mean, we're best friends. Everything's okay.
Yeah, and then she called, several times the other night because you'd had plans and you ditched her. And you said that you were working for me. And tonight Janine hadn't heard from you. Usually you call, you guys do something. I expected you guys to come over here to watch movies or something.
Mom, Janine's really been my only friend, for years. Actually, I'm starting to make new friends, and I'm trying to figure out how to balance this. And I bailed on Janine because I got invited out by Molly, a new friend that I'm making, and I shouldn't have done that. It was mean, but I couldn't say no. I mean, I got invited out by someone other than Janine. I mean, it's kind of amazing, right?
This so isn't like you.
I know. I know.
I mean, you're really hurting and causing pain to the people that really care about you.
I'm not trying to.
But you're acting strange. And I think she is pushing down on your mundane and pushing up on your danger. I think she is saying that you are acting in a really radical way. I mean, causing problems here.
I think I'm going to let that happen. I agree. I think in a way, she agrees with that significantly. Like she's definitely, whether it's for the same reasons that she believes it or not, but probably not. But yeah, I'll definitely accept that shift.
Okay. Then go ahead and shift those labels, and
Yeah.
she will say, I had friends in high school that I had gone to grade school, middle school with. And then there's that moment when we got to high school and everything changed and they stayed together and I was not with them. And so I know, and it wasn't that they broke things off. It's that they strung me along for a year.
That's not fun at all.
You need to decide how you want to deal with Janine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's getting complicated. I mean, yeah.
It's not that complicated.
And
I mean, you're a high school kid. How complicated can it be?
I think I kind of chuckle awkwardly at that, and like maybe like the panel, like maybe I'm like holding my backpack, in my hand, and it's kind of like behind my back, and we got a panel like from behind me, just showing my hand, kind of like becoming the same material as my backpack. And I'm like, yeah, I guess it can't be too complicated, can it? It sure feels that way though.
All right. Well, you go on up to your room.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where she's just like can't tell her mom that she can't hang out with Janine as much because Janine hates her, her cape self, and I mean, her mom hating capes means she can't even discuss anything in that area. It's just kind of like she's just tied up and doesn't even know how to approach dealing with her right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Evening eventually breaks up. You head back. Where are you living right now, Dynamo?
Right now we are staying in one of the lower end motels in town.
Oh, is your dad looking at buying a place, or are you guys actually in kind of some trouble?
We're kind of in some trouble because of the whole Ghoster situation.
Like he had all of his monies tied up in your accounts that he had control over, but it was all rolling into that, and those are gone.
Yep.
Your dad is there, working on trying to keep, you've got the 1-year contract on your phones and all that stuff going. So he's still kind of using that. And he is making calls around to places and trying to get, profiles and things put back up. And, when you get back, he's there at the little motel desk. He's got a couple computers up and he's working feverishly on that. And when he hears the door unlock, maybe hear him like pick like a bottle off the table and kind of slide it underneath. And he's like, hey, you're back.
Yeah, Dad. It was a good night. Lots of pictures. It looks like
no. I've been taking the feed. I've been putting it up. Your Q rating is up by about 3%. It's solid. I didn't get the name of the team though, so I was having to be pretty vague about it.
Yeah, they're going very Art Nouveau. They're just going by the team.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's not great. You need something you can search.
Yeah, not the best for branding, but
they're gonna
I'll get them to work on it. Maybe like throw a 3 in for instead of an E or something.
Oh, I could call up Evelyn. She did that early work with us before we fired her. And maybe she might be willing to take us back and maybe do some pro bono stuff, for future contracts, and we could maybe have her come in and do some branding consultation.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. But what about like just going out and helping people? That would be, a good step too.
Oh yeah, yeah. High profile rescues, things like that. That's. I mean, that's obviously in our in your agenda, and will certainly help things out.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and well, all right. Well, then maybe you should do like a patrol.
Yeah.
You know, is
That
that what they do?
sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Do patrol tomorrow, and you know, I'll look. I did have some bites from people who you know wouldn't mind producing you on some things. Maybe we start real low key. Could do some indie stuff, put some stuff up on Bandcamp, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We can restart the SoundCloud and
Oh
get
yeah,
that
yeah,
going.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It'll be. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm just gonna finish up what I've got doing here.
I'm gonna head to bed then.
Okay. We'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
Pour. Sarah, what do we see you either that evening or the next day doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I get home little before midnight. I left the club around 11:30, and I mean, my mom, she's in bed, she's snoring. It sounds like she had maybe a little too much wine, but not too much wine. And I think I get on the computer and I start tracking Dame Canada. I want to
Okay.
see if I can find any pattern in her recent activity.
I think, yeah, absolutely. You can probably, she is very much targeting big businesses and essentially carrying out this incredibly populist agenda. You know that she apparently struck at some debt collection firms that specialize in medical debt. And you know, she's gone and like definitely ripped off fat cats, or what she perceives as fat cats, to distribute that to the populace. And while she clearly is publicly labeled a villain, on sort of the public sympathy is certainly for her.
Right. Okay. And as I recall, she was distributing drugs. So I'm sort of going to plot the places that she distributed the drugs to, and sort of try to find a possible location for where she's hiding out based on that. Figure out where she might be storing the stuff.
Absolutely, you can get it down to a particular neighborhood within Gauntlet City, and Millennium Heights, and that's probably where she's operating out of. Does that seem good enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll send out a text to the team and to Dynamo saying that. Just saying that I figured Dame Canada has her hideout around there, and asking if anybody wants to just look around tomorrow.
And Overclock, what about you? Do you want to do a scene that night, or do you want to do a scene the next day?
I think probably like the next morning. His parents are probably like, drink themselves, gotten their wine and have way gone to bed by the time he gets in.
Mm-hmm.
So once they realized they didn't have to actually go out and do anything, they just took an evening in.
Yeah. What does your sister do? She's pretty young. So is she watch stuff? Is she a video gamer? Does she go online?
I think she probably sort of mixes up, like watching television and probably playing video games.
Okay.
She might do both at the same time. She might have like a game going on her tablet or laptop, and have like like Teen Disney or whatever show going on the television as she's playing the game.
Yeah, she doesn't really look at you as you come in. She just kind of does the yo.
Hey, Morgan.
Hey,
So did Mom and Dad was there something wrong? They seemed to be confused about what day of the week it was yesterday. They act weird while you were home?
no, not that I saw.
Did you look?
What do you mean? They were around. They were doing parent things.
Okay. Um, see, do you remember what time they got home yesterday?
When they got home from work, what, about 5, right?
That's normally that. But see, when I called them, I think it was about maybe 7 or so. They seemed to be confused about where they were going and what day of the week it was.
I don't know what's up with that.
Let's see, what do you remember them doing like after that? I mean,
I don't know. They fixed. We got dinner. Boston Market they brought in, and I had that, and it was fine.
Okay, so they just went out and grabbed something and then crashed here. Okay,
Yeah.
weird.
Why?
Like I said, it's just weird. They, when I talked to them last night, they thought it was Wednesday. That's a heck of a thing to think on a Friday. Usually, most people think Wednesday is Friday because they really want it to be.
Maybe they're just excited for my recital coming up next week.
Yeah, I think they thought it was. Maybe that was what they were thinking about.
Her recital was this week.
That is really weird. Wait, and he turns back. Wait, wasn't your recital this week?
No, it's next week.
All right, he thinks for a second. Hold on just a second, and he checks his checks his time through his data connection to the sanctuary. Like, is there something weird going on with the time stream here?
Not at the moment.
Okay, he goes into the kitchen where they've got like a little hanging calendar like near the refrigerator, and like looks on there and like checks the day and then looks at his watch again.
You will go over to the calendar, and as you approach, there's a bit where the calendar, as you come in, is kind of a little bit blurry. And as you come in, it will come into focus. And you will see that it says, yeah, it's Saturday. Late Saturday now.
Okay. I checked. He looks at his hand like is it like it's a visual effect like on anything, or is it just the calendar specifically that was blurry when he walked?
Look, it was the calendar that was blurry.
Okay, this is not good. That's not something that should happen. And
Your phone will go off.
pulls it out.
Unknown number.
The text from unknown number.
Yeah. Doesn't register as spam on your phone.
Okay. Hello?
Mr. Overclock. I should call you Mr. Overclock, right? This is Dr. Allset.
Well, I suppose. I mean, that seems to be fairly respectful.
Absolutely. So it looks like there might have been some other people hired besides the person who targeted you.
So that's not good.
No, it looks like the person doing the mediating on this for your nemesis is a person that calls himself Syndic.
Okay. How many other people is he coordinating with, or do you know?
That I don't know. I do want to give you a name, though, if I can.
Names are good.
Names are good, aren't they? Eduardo Patillo.
Okay. He
All right, then.
He like
I
grabs
will-
a sticky note and like scribbles that name down.
Says, I will talk with you later, then.
Okay.
Hangs up.
Thanks. Click.
So I assume we see you staying there for a bit before you crash.
Yeah, I think what happens is like he goes, okay, I've got some more information, and then he realizes what that blind call to his personal cell phone actually means has probably happened.
All right. So let's cut forward to the next day. Do you want to get the team together, Sarah?
Well, I mean, I'll contact them. I'm not going to say, "Oh, this is something you have to do." I'm going to say, "If you got some free time, we could look around."
Overclock, do you have free time to go and look around?
Overclock is like when Sarah calls, he's like, "Oh, hey, Sarah, I got yeah, I think I got some free time. Also, I think my phone might have been compromised."
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
check that out.
I'll meet you at the usual place, and we can maybe you can help me take a look at it.
Right.
And then he turns it off, and then like actually shuts it down.
Right.
Okay.
And then heads out to meet them at the. I figure we have like a place we'd regularly like all touch base with, like maybe like just a landmark or something that we'd pop onto the roof or something like that.
Sure. Where is that?
I think it's probably like a maybe like a an old radio station. It
Okay.
used to be a radio station, so it still has this big antenna on the top, but it's been decommissioned. It was an old AM radio station back when those were a thing.
And maybe not that far away from the school, so it serves as a convenient landmark. Okay. It seems reasonable.
Yeah. It's got one of those old style fire escapes on the outside of the building, so it's easy for me to get up to the top.
All right. Mimic, or should I say Allie, when you get the call, what do you say?
What time of day is it again?
You tell me, Stephen. What do you think?
I think around 11
At night or AM? Are we talking?
AM.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think I've already probably gotten breakfast in the morning, and I see it, and I'm just like, kind of get a panel of like, kind of a pensive, like, okay, what do I do? And you see me kind of open the door and yell out, "Mom, I'm going to be working on homework for a few hours in here. I've got a really big project coming up. So I'll talk to you later, okay?" And I shut the door. Hopefully, she replies. But
She goes, "Yeah, the new H&R Block just came down, so I'm going to be working through that."
okay, so in her room, she quickly changes into her costume, melds through the wall and out, and pops out on like a wall down, kind of towards the alley in the apartment complex, and heads off.
Okay. And Dynamo, when you get up, your dad is asleep at that table. Is there a diner attached to the motel?
Yeah.
So probably, as has been the want, you probably go over there to get your breakfast by yourself. But then you'll get that call from Sarah Silver saying that they're going to meet up for team up.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be right there, and I'll grab like a coffee and a bagel and take it back to Dad. Set it at the table.
Okay.
And get in the uniform, and once he gets outside, like starts up the feed. Says, "So, got my first call to go work with the team. Let's go."
And you will head out. Let's take let's do a 7-minute break here. When we come back, we'll bring the team together and we'll adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering about the Christmas tree. So, I remember one year the late February dragging out of the real tree out to be disposed of.
Luckily, it's fake. I just haven't thrown it in the garage yet.
Part of the problem is, of course, we would have it in the sunroom so the cats couldn't get to it. So it would be kind of out of sight, out of mind. And then it would be like, oh, yeah, we have a Christmas tree up. We should probably do something about that. So, Sarah, I'm going to assume you're first to arrive. That strikes me as you. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, that seems reasonable, especially since I'm the one who sent the message out.
So the team assembles.
Yeah, I mean everyone except Gabriel. I hope she's not upset about what happened, but I'll check in with her later.
Yeah, we'll do a love letter for Gabriel next time, since she has a lot to mull over, particularly maybe having to kill Overclock, those orders that she got last time. So we'll do that. So Sarah, you're the team leader. It's the first time you've got a new member of your team. What are you going to do?
All right. Well, the first thing is I want to check Overclock's phone. I mean, I brought along my tricorder, which is basically now a scanner, analyzer, computer gizmo, and so I'm going to just scan his phone and remove any tracking devices or stuff that's been installed on it.
While there's no tracker on it, when you kind of run the diagnostic on it, you can see that clearly during the time that he was in Aeon, that his phone got, like, essentially the info got downloaded from it. And you expect that Dr. Alset essentially just kind of cloned his phone to get info out of that.
Right, and I'll copy all of that info to my phone. Just review it later and see what he got.
And I don't think all that much, right? Overclock.
Yeah, but mostly this is a phone that he just uses to communicate with the team. So it's just, this is what he's got. It's probably like, he's got like Sparks in there for Sarah and like the as a programmed in as a contact, etc.
Right.
So he has contact info. You're relieved. This isn't your phone that has your browser history. You're all fine with that then. So
yeah, that's on his regular person phone.
Is there anything on this superhero phone that you don't want Sarah to see?
Oh, I think probably there's like a couple of like maybe some drafted text messages that are just saved in the draft folder.
Perfect. All right.
And then he doesn't even, because he left them in the draft folder and he's probably half forgotten about them until he like hands her the phone and it's out of his hand. Then he's like, oh. Inside his mask where she can't see, he's like, oh crap. And then he just hopes that she glosses over all that stuff as being worthless, worthless, non-essential info. And
yeah, or possibly Dr. Alsett is practicing psychological warfare against the team. Can't rule that out.
Yes, that's exactly what he was doing. Of course. Overclock also mentions the Sarah, something weird was going on at my house, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but when I went to check the date on the calendar, because apparently my parents had thought it was Wednesday last night, even though it was Friday. I mean, normally parents are weird and they do stuff like that all the time. They could do stuff like that all the time. They lose track of what day it is and what time it is and stuff like that. But this was especially weird because when I checked the calendar this morning, when I first tried to look at it, the calendar itself was like blurry. like it was like in some sort of flux. And I know that some of my powers have that kind of distortion effect, but I've never seen that happen before. And I also share with her the information I got about Syndic. Basically, that somebody's coordinating these contracts, and that person's name is Syndic. But I don't know anything else about who that is. And I also give her the name that he scribbled down on that sticky note.
Eduardo Patillo.
And it's horribly misspelled. Like he had no idea how to actually spell it. So it's spelled phonetically badly.
Okay, so yeah, I'll make a note of this. But I mean, I think I don't want to take the team to his house because they don't know your secret identity, right?
Right, and Overclock doesn't know that you know his secret identity. Like he's mentioning this,
right.
like he doesn't say like this is Will. Like he's like saying this is something that happened. Like, and he's hoping you'll give him some info, but he doesn't realize that you actually know that he's also Will, because he is really clueless.
Right. Okay. So I'll tell him that I'll look into the situation later, and that may involve breaking into his house, since I don't want Will to get upset that I know where he lives. But for now, we're going to go looking for Dame Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got my tricorder set up to scan for dimensional anomalies, because Dame Canada, of course, is not from this universe. So it's possible that her presence will turn up something that I can detect, or maybe not. We'll have to see.
And what about what's your take on this mimic, Dynamo?
Great. He's following exactly what I suggested. I think it's it'll be a good thing to go after this high-profile villain.
And I think everyone can maybe notice that Mimic is a little bit agitated, but in a way that's like, yeah, okay, let's go do this. We could let's go do something, and just kind of looking to, I don't want to say take your frustration out on someone, but looking for some action to kind of let loose all this like pent up energy and frustration.
That certainly makes sense to me. Let me think how we want to handle this in the best way possible. So you will move around this Millennium Heights neighborhood. What's the key feature of Millennium Heights, Sarah?
Well, it's one of the older parts of the city, so it's like an upper class neighborhood, but there are all of these historically preserved buildings. It's like some of the, and it's rent controlled, so it's a mix of really rich people and these businesses that have been there forever, like this one shop that sells only buttons and things like that.
And you will certainly move around here. Are you moving around in your superhero identities, in cautious identities? How are you approaching this? What do we see on screen?
I think we're in our superhero identities, and I mean we're just going around. We're just patrolling the neighborhood. This is like a standard superhero patrol.
So people are definitely going to see you.
Yeah, they're going to see us. We're mostly sticking to the rooftops and things. Like, I mean, Dynamo is probably super flashy with his electrical flight, and like Mimic is just sort of zooping from one place to another.
You will these are your powers. You've got your science tech stuff.
Right.
You're moving around, and you will pick up some kind of anomaly, some kind of residual trace from what looks to have been like an old coat factory. You can see there's a chain link fence with a do not enter sign. There's the sprigs of grass coming up between the snow patches there on the parking lot and asphalt. Looks like one of those buildings that, because the neighborhood has been designated historical, because it's was an old code and seamstress factory, but nobody's paid the money to bring it back up or anything, so it's just kind of sitting there. And you're definitely getting a signal from that location.
Okay, I'm going to check for cameras and find us an inconspicuous way into the building in case anybody in there is watching. I want to get past any security there is and get in there quietly.
So that seems like you're assessing the situation?
Yeah, sounds fair.
Okay. When you assess the situation, roll superior, and then I'm going to check in with the other characters.
Okay, what's the link to the roll for the party link again?
Hang on, let me grab that. That is Brightly Rested Boar. I'm going to drop that in the chat. Bonk.
Okay, that's a 9.
That is a 9. So you get one question.
Okay. Right. I mean, what can I use to get into the building without being detected?
Well, one of the things you know about this area is that there was an old set of decommissioned sort of steam rail subways that ran through this, and this is an old part of town. And given the age and location, that may be your best way is not going above ground at all, but going underground.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to lead my team in through the tunnels.
Okay. So you guys are on patrol, checking things out, doing this. And tell me, Mimic, how do you get the group down into these tunnels? What is it that you do to get them in?
So I think probably I'm imagining there's probably a locked big metal door or something like that in the way, and that just for the tunnel access when we finally find it. And I think it's a pretty simple thing of melding into the door on one side, popping out on the other, and everyone hears me kind of fiddling with stuff on the door. I think it's just a simple thing of me just opening the door for them after I undo the locks from the inside.
Absolutely. And then you guys can get down into these tunnels. They're cold, it's dark. Probably have to use some something to generate light for your flashlights, or is that you, Dynamo? Okay. And what is your light up effect look like?
For this, it's just gonna kind of you see like sparks start coming off of his hands, and it just kind of starts to surround him in a nice glowing aura.
Okay. So you're kind of lighting that up. there is debris as you move through these tunnels that has to be cleared. Overclock, what do you do to help clear the path?
I think as we approach some of it, I think basically Overclock like sort of runs ahead with his super speed and just sort of like rearranges all the stuff like out of the way.
Okay.
Like, pulling sort of a flash effect where he's just like, and then there's a path clear. Next pile of debris, moves it out of the way, etc.
Okay. And eventually, the team will, with your GPS and the spatial location, you will get so that you are underneath the building. So what powers do you use to essentially gain egress? Who is doing that, and how do you do it?
I can like create a saw or something to basically just cut through the floor. That'll be super loud though.
If there's any kind of electronics, I can open that.
It's we're talking a physical barrier right now. Is you have to cut through up into the building.
Well, I could weld it, but it would take a while, and it'd probably be just as loud. So go for your saw thing. That sounds awesome. And it'll make for a couple extra hits.
So that sounds to me like you are unleashing your powers to overcome an obstacle.
Yes.
All right. So when you unleash your powers, go ahead and roll with Freak. Now let's look. You've got guilty and insecure, right?
Mm-hmm. Those are my two.
Let's see what those affect. So insecure is defend and reject, and guilty is provoke and assess.
Okay, so that's good because my freak is 0 right now, so I didn't need any extra negatives on there. If I could help
Absolutely.
it. Okay, that is a 7.
That is a 7. So you can mark a condition, or it is going to be loud.
Since Overclock is feeling kind of bad about about all the messes that he's been causing, so he's going to try and he's going to mark a condition to try and be extra quiet.
What are you going to mark? Afraid, angry, or hopeless?
Oh, I think right now he's not quite at hopeless yet, but he's really frustrated with himself. So I think I'm going to mark angry. Okay.
So angry gives you the -2 to comfort or support, or to pierce the mask. So it is surprisingly, you're able to kind of cut it carefully, and Sarah kind of chooses an area that she suspects there is a basement. So you come up in the basement to the place rather than say on the ground floor or anything. And the four of you can carefully make your way up into the basement of this place and begin to move around. Mimic, we've had Sarah and Overclock make moves, do things. What do we see from Mimic on screen now?
All right, so everybody is. If I can just, sorry, I had a sound kind of out there.
Oh, sure. Everybody's come up.
Everybody's up
in through this hole that Overclock created into the basement of this building that you suspect is, if not Dane Canada's, base, is certainly related to her in some way.
Yeah. So I think at this point, Mimic is like, so we're already up there. It's probably all one material, right? This whole place is it like what kind of building is that? Are we talking like concrete floors and walls, or what are we talking?
Well, actually, once you get up, it's going to be a mixture of brick and wood,
okay,
and probably some concrete in spaces Yeah.
Sure. So I think I'd probably pick one type of material, and there might be a few panels of me like I sink into the brick or something like that, and you see me like just peek a head out of a wall in another room in some brick.
Ooh.
And kind of sink back in, and then peek out in another room, just kind of looking around. So at this point I'm kind of trying to do a little bit of recon, but not Yeah.
We have Unleash Your Powers is the perfect one for that, because it is extending your senses is one of the things here. And we see you,
Perfect.
doing that throughout. Let's
That
have you
sounds
roll.
Good. All right, and Unleash Your Powers is which stat here?
That is Freak.
Okay, perfect. Interesting. My Freak is a -1 at the moment.
Mm,
All right, let's see.
delicious.
Yeah, always good.
Yeah.
Let's see, did that actually change it? All right, so that's a 6.
That is a 6. Well, the good news is you get to mark potential.
Yay.
The bad news is you're kind of coming around and kind of checking, and you'll pop your face out and kind of emerges from this wall, and you will see that there's a significant group of people, maybe a dozen people here. Men, women, and children. And one of them screams because essentially you've come out right by where the television is at.
Perfect.
And you will do that, and you will see this figure from another part of the room stand up. She's got kind of this greenish cloaked hood. And as soon as she stands up, you'll see this greenish blade form in her hands. And she starts moving over towards where people are screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my move, is to alert the opposition. Do you pop back, or are you going to stay to see what happens?
Yeah, no, I immediately pop right back, and I kind of just pop right back where everybody else is. Because, everybody, I may have messed up a little bit. There's room over there, person with a big green sword. They saw me. They know we're here.
Civilians or minions?
What did I see as far as, were they civilians or
Men, women, and children?
Men, women, and children. Okay, I guess I just repeat that. I'm like, men, women, and children. I didn't stick around to get much more information. I got out as soon as they saw me.
Okay, we need to be careful about a confrontation in this situation. We don't want anyone to get hurt.
Clearly, they're captives. We need to go save them.
We don't want to just go busting into a hostage situation, if that's even what this is.
Yeah, the last time when Wilforce fought her, didn't that radio story say that the people that she was giving the medicine to actually got in his way and stopped him?
Yeah, we can't assume that these are captives.
So what do you want to do, Dynamo? That doesn't seem particularly exciting or curating.
No, it doesn't. Well, there's definitely a person with a sword in there. So we got to stop them. So, yeah, I think you're wrong. I gotta go in. There's somebody that needs help.
So you're going to charge in?
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah, you will see Dynamo blaze ahead. And you can take this door off its hinges, Dynamo, kind of crash into a wider room. And you will see, and again, it's an older building, wood and brick. It used to be as I said, a clothing factory. So there's maybe some old racks of old moth-eaten coats. There's probably buttons all over the floor, that kind of dust and dirt. But you will bust in on what looks like a makeshift, kind of rec room, I would say. There are chairs and tables and some people there and a television. And you'll see this woman with this green sword, and I will hold up the picture there. And she's like by the TV looking around, speaking in Spanish to the people, and then boom, you bust open the door.
Don't worry, everybody. Dynamo is here to save you.
All right. So when you enter battle, right, against a dangerous foe as a team, we add 2 team to the pool, right?
Yes. Yes, because I've got the captain move.
Right. And I also add 1 from the start of session. So we've got actually 3 team in the pool. So let's look at that, though. Do you have influence over every member of the team?
No, I do not have influence over Mimic currently.
Okay. I don't think everyone has the same purpose in the fight.
No, that's definitely.
If any team member mistrusts the leader of the team, I think we get that. Remove a team. But I'm not going to double that down and make you ill-prepared and off balance. I think just 2 team at that point. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we were kind of ready for a fight. We just a little premature.
Yes. So tell me what you do as this woman turns to you, facing you with this sword. What do you do, Dynamo?
I kind of struck my hero pose in front of everybody, and I'm just going to turn to her and say, "Put down the sword right now, and we won't have any problems."
And she's just seen you, so she does not. Now, do you want to try and provoke them?
Sure.
Okay. Let me think here. Are they susceptible to your words? Actually, I'm going to say I don't think they're susceptible right now because they've just seen you. So, yeah, she turns and puts the blade and is clearly going to engage you.
Okay.
Do you want to fight her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll directly engage a threat.
Directly engage a threat. You're going to roll danger. Dynamo.
Okay.
Not your strong suit.
No. But I have an audience watching.
You do an audience watches. Oh, that's interesting. Audience watching. Yeah, I think you can mark a condition if you want to show off.
Yeah. The reason I rushed in is because I'm insecure. So
Okay.
yeah, I gotta prove myself, especially in front of these new heroes that
Okay.
I'm with.
And so you have that'll give you -2 to reject influence and to defend yourself. All right. So let's see you roll then with superior.
Okay, with superior, that's going to be an 8, a 10.
That is a 10. So on a 10, you get to pick 2 from that list.
Okay. All right, for directly engage a threat, I am going to it's still early on, so I don't want to beat her too quickly, so I'm going to create an opportunity for my allies, and I'm going to impress the opposition.
Okay. You're also going to roll take a powerful blow, because she's going to trade blows with you as she does that. As you slam up, this sword, projects this alien energy. You are going to slam into her, but let's have you roll take a powerful blow.
Okay. Only a 5, so.
Look at that. The good news is you get to mark potential.
Woo!
And you send her flying back. She looks furious, and you see her raise the sword up, and you see her pause, and she brings it down, and you see she cuts this like rift in the air, and she shouts, "Vámonos, vámonos!" And the people start moving to run. So, Sarah, you're the team leader. You saw your comrade go flying into this room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going after him. Do I recognize this person?
I would say that you've heard the name La Espada. You know that she is a a villain. But let's say for the moment, beyond that, you're uncertain about her, unless you want to do Pierce the Mask.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do pierce the mask and figure out what the situation is here.
Let's
Yeah.
have you roll mundane.
That's that is an 11.
That is 11. You get to ask 3 questions.
Oh, actually, it's a 12 because I had +1 forward from the captain move.
That's right. So you have 3 questions.
Okay, what is Alaspado planning?
She's going to evacuate the people here and call for. Well, she probably doesn't have to call for backup, but she's going to. But her back has probably already heard this.
Okay. How could I get her to talk? How could I de-escalate the situation?
Let's see. That's a really interesting question. Because your friend is already struck. So I think the only way she is going to stop and talk is if you threaten those people, threaten to not let them loose or grab a hold of them. It's not de-escalating the situation, but it is the one way that will stop her.
Okay. And
What's your third question?
yeah, let's see. Right. I guess how can I gain influence over her?
Ooh, bo, 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 bo. I think it actually kind of related to what Jesse just said. I think actually speaking Spanish at her in the midst of this is probably one of the ways you can do that. Let me check in. Now that you've kind of come in and assess the situation, let me see what Allie's doing.
Okay, so at this point, we've seen Dynamo barrel in, kind of have a momentary clash with the woman in there, and we see these people running towards. Did you say it's a portal?
Yeah, she's opened this kind of portal in the air. I think. Oh man, I think Allie might actually do kind of her sink into the floor, reappear kind of right in front of the portal, and come out and like kind of hold up her hands, like in a way, like, you know, not obviously threatening, but say, you know, like start speaking in Spanish, like, you know, calm down, everyone. We're not, you know, what's going on here, you know? So, well, these are civilians, so I do think they are susceptible to your words, especially because you're a freaky superhero that's just popped up in front of them.
mm-hmm.
Let's see how much they panic. Why don't you go ahead and roll with superior?
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. All right. Rolling with superior. Selected. It's let's see. 10 plus. Sorry, let me find my superior here. My superior is 0, so it was a 10.
10. So they will stop. They freeze in place like they're terrified.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so you've blocked the way for them to escape, and they huddle together. You know, clutching their loved ones close to them.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you've stopped them. Overclock. What are you doing? Dynamo went in and kind of showed you guys up, man.
Yeah, but Sarah seemed disappointed by that. So secretly, Overclock is like really pleased that he's not the one that screwed up that time. So I think Overclock is coming in, and he's at this point. I think he is going to basically just be backing up Sarah.
Okay.
He's going to basically kind of just be poised and ready for something because he figures something else is coming down. He figures this isn't the only people that are in here.
Okay.
So he's going to. I think he's going to go ahead and charge his burn.
Okay. And you will see for the corner of this room, from the third floor, the sort of ceiling, come crashing down, and you will see this enormous figure drop down into the room. Looks like that.
Ooh, that looks scary. I rolled a 10 to charge the burn, so I don't have to take another condition. Thank goodness.
Hey, yeah, that's too bad. It would have been fun to have another condition.
Be rapidly running out of them. So that gives me as much burn as I can actually hold. So, and
kind of what do we see on screen? What does that look like on panel for you charging up your burn?
I think basically when Overclock charges that up, I think you start to see like this sort of Speed Force style distortion around him. That sort of like looks like you've got this sort of electrical pulse that's just sort of tracing along the exterior of his armor until it looks like it's almost building to like this little extra shine on his armor, like you've got this sort of like electrical aura around him.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it's going to shock you, but it looks like he's like lit up. More
like someone has got the shot and they've opened up the gauge to so that the exposure is gone. Okay. Dynamo, knock this woman down. Your partner Mimic has blocked her from using this portal to get these people out of here. She is getting up with that blade. You'll hear that crash and you'll see this enormous figure come dropping into the room. Comes down. What do you want to do?
I told you it was bad, guys.
Now, and I'm going to say I'm kind of going in the order that I've set, but feel free, because order initiative is flexible in this. If somebody wants to say something or do something, say, "Hey, I need to do this before they do that." Feel free on that.
I'm gonna hold a moment and like Sarah's like, is this one okay to fight with?
Yeah. It's I give it a signal like go for it.
Okay, so she gives you the go signal for rampage.
Okay, and so I'm gonna light up and attack him.
Okay, go ahead and roll directly engage a threat. Then, as you bring that force, she comes running at you.
Okay, and this is my danger. Yeah, that's the 3.
That is 3. So the good news is you get to mark potential. The bad news is as you run, this thing is much faster than you thought. Much faster. And it comes running like it's going to charge like up top, and then it drops and rolls. It grabs you by the leg, and it flings you through the wall. And you go boom, boom, boom through this series of walls into just this old like pile of rotted clothing and stuff. I need you to roll take a powerful blow.
That'll be a add conditions, right? So that'll be a 9.
That'll be a 9. So choose one: verbally lash out, give ground, or mark 2 conditions.
Lash out verbally. I don't have influence on anybody, so
Yeah, I mean, I think you have influence on me.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't establish that explicitly, but it
Okay.
makes sense.
I think I'm gonna struggle past the pain for this one.
Okay, mark 2 conditions.
Okay. So one is gonna be that I am afraid that I may be in over my head and a little bit guilty for dragging everybody else into this.
And this thing says to you, "You shouldn't be here, pretty boy. You're just a toy." And I think she's going to try and move your mundane up and your superior down. Do you want to reject that influence from this adult?
Yeah, I think yeah. Yeah, wants to move my mundane up and my superior down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna reject that.
Okay, go ahead and roll with a -2 because you're insecure.
Alrighty. Five, 6, 7, 8, 6.
So that is a 6. So the good news is you get to mark potential. The bad news is your superior goes down 1 and your mundane goes up 1. I mean, this thing, you've never fought anything like this. And with one shot, she threw you through those walls and she's laughing at you. Sarah.
All right. Well, Dynamo did put Al Espada off balance, so I'm gonna directly engage, see if I can get that sword from her.
Okay, let's have you go ahead and do that.
That's a 12.
That is a 12. So what do you want as your choices on that?
Yes, that's. I want to resist or avoid their blows, and I want to take the sword from her.
All right. So you will kick her, knock her down to the ground, and you pull that sword away from her. And she drops to the ground like a sack of potatoes. Just collapses to the ground there when you do that. And that sword just goes whoop and depowers in your hand. And it looks like you just absolutely kicked her ass.
Well, that was unexpected.
Allie.
See, I think
You have a bunch of terrified civilians. You've got a Dynamo knocked through this walls. We've got apparently La Espada down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think kind of while all that was going on, what we have is Ali speaking in Spanish to this group of people, because that's what the that villain had done as well, and just saying something to the effect, "We're here to save you from these villains," and trying to usher them, come this way, trying to usher them towards a hallway or something, away from the fight, just to see how they react, I guess, at this point.
So I think I want to have you roll defend, because I think we've got this environmental situation. I think you're trying to protect them, and let's see how well this does.
Okay. Ooh, I have a move. Do I want to do it? So everyone else is occupied at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And I see these people kind of resisting because they're afraid of me, and I'm a cape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I am going to use my move, I'll save you, and I'm actually, as I look over and everyone's occupied, I'm going to take off my mask to show them I'm a person, I'm here to help.
Now, I love that. However, I will say that do you consider these loved ones?
Ooh, oh, right, it has to be loved ones. I forgot that. I'm sorry. I had it.
Yeah, no.
No.
I think it's so good, and yet the move really focuses in on that.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think that works. then I guess I'll have to just Dang. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll just be rolling defend. So no reveal, but I'm going to just be like, hey, we're trying to help. I'm speaking in Spanish to them, and just like, hey, I'm just trying to help here. We're trying to get you away from these villains. So I'm going to roll defend, I guess.
Perfect. Let's have you roll defend. You did that provoke last time. You didn't get the stumble, so we're on straight up on that. You're rolling with savior.
Okay, rolling with savior. All right. Eight. I got an 8.
On 8. So I think that you're going to get them out of here, and kind of move them along, and they are running and panicked. And I think you'll actually maybe hear like sirens outside. And when they hear that, they like freak. And it definitely sounds like the cops are buzzing this way, and they're scattering. Okay. And we'll come back to that in a second. Overclock. I know it pains you to have seen Dynamo get taken out in one shot like that.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. And I think what Overclock's going to do is, having seen that, and secretly being elated by it, he is going to spend 2 of his 3 burn to overcharge.
Okay.
And he is going to basically use his super speed and his object creation.
Okay.
To basically create these nano bonds, and he is going to burn rubber around this thing and just tie it up in a knot.
Okay.
With nanofiber coils.
All right. And what does the burn do for you?
Basically, it gives me an automatic 10 or better.
Okay. So you're directly engaging this threat because you are getting up by it. You are doing this, trying to affect it.
Well,
what do you want to?
It only works for unleash my powers. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Like, so if you think it's going to be a directly engaged threat, the burn wouldn't work, and I'll just roll directly engaged.
Well, let's think about the unleash there for a second, because this is always one of those questions I have with this. Let me look real quick here, and this is one of the first times we're in a big combat where that.
Is he a threat or an obstacle? I think that's what it'll turn on. If you think this is more of a threat situation, I'll do that.
Well, so what you're trying to do is lock him down, right?
Yep.
So what that is, and actually the book has an example of that. It seems to me that if you're trying to lock him down, that's actually a defend move, because you're trying to stop him from affecting the rest of your team. You could, if you wanted to get him out of here, like if you wanted to do something that would reshape the environment to remove him and like change up the battle site, I could see that.
Okay. Maybe do this then. I think Overclock will basically do kind of what I described earlier, basically catching him in the coils. And basically just yank him out of here.
Okay.
Like away from Dynamo, away from Sarah, and away from the other people.
Absolutely. So you will send him crashing, through this wall and out into that parking lot, right? Okay. Yeah. Gives you some space. Do you follow?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Boom. You land, and you'll see the flashers on police cars as they're coming up. And Dynamo is on her back there. Let's come back to not Dynamo. I'm sorry. Rampage is on her back. Dynamo. Wow. What are you gonna do? That did not look good on camera.
No, it did not. So So the people are running now, or
You're not sure where they are. You think maybe Mimic got them out of here.
okay, good. Since she got him out of there, I am gonna go.
There's still that rift in the air.
Oh, there's a rift.
Yeah, where she opened for those people.
Okay.
And Overclock sent Rampage flying out into the parking lot and followed. Kind of a glory hound, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. That was supposed to be what I was going to do.
Wow.
So seeing that rift, it could still be a problem.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say I'll handle this, and I'll try and use, like, I don't know, siphon the energy off of it. Would that work?
Yeah. Unleash your powers.
Sure. Unleashing my powers is freak. A 3.
A 3. So you go to do that, and you kind of reach your powers into that, and out of the corner of your eye, you will see La Espada roll up to her feet, and she leaps through that portal. And you'll see this woof as that sword is gone, and that rift closes up. The good news is you get to mark the potential.
I closed the rift.
Good news.
Good news, everyone.
I closed the rift.
Yes. Sarah, did you saw that she was playing possum with her villain move and leapt through to get away.
Right, and when she went through the rift, the sword just sort of disappeared from my hands.
Yeah, you're like, okay, clearly she still had powers while
Right.
the sword wasn't in her hand,
Right.
but probably at least minimized.
Right. Okay. So Rampage is in the parking lot. The Espada is gone, retreated, but there are still these civilians around. I want to figure out what the situation is with the civilians, and I mean I can see three moves that could apply here. It could be unleash the powers for Holmesian deduction, or pierce the mask, or assess the situation, and I'm not sure which one applies.
I think this is assessing the situation. I think that's what's really happening here is you're trying to figure out what's going on. And you've got a decent superior, so that does play into your things.
Okay, that's a 7.
So you get a question, and I think a reasonable question is what's really going on here would be
right. What is really going on with these civilians?
It seems like this is another post in Dane Canada's plans. You expect that these are immigrants, that they're taking shelters like sanctuary here, probably avoiding an immigration sweep.
Right.
And you know that La Espada is Hispanic.
Right.
You're not sure about Rampage, but they clearly, on Dame Canada's payroll for this particular PR thing.
Right.
Whether Dame Canada is using this really, or whether she's just trying to garner sympathy, or whether she's going to use them later as agents, you're not sure.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to them, and I'm gonna send them to the basement.
Well, they've already rushed. They're already, they're scattering. They've hit that parking lot. Allie has kind of gotten them out.
Okay. Yeah. So. Right. Okay. So I'm going to. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna head out into the parking lot, and if I see it, I'm gonna keep an eye out for the police. And
Oh yeah, they're there.
that's. Yeah.
Gonna move over to talk to them.
Yeah. I mean, I want to figure. I don't want all of these people to get arrested.
Well, you move over there. You take a second to assess the situation. You look around the room. You get a sense of what's going on, and you'll move down. You see that they've scattered. That the police are coming in, and you can move over to where they're at. Allie, Rampage is still in the parking lot. A few of these people are still here, but a lot of them are running. The cops are coming in. What do you do, Allie?
Question. What is our relationship like with police? Like, we go out there, are they going to try?
Adults.
Are they on our side?
They are adults.
Yep.
And you are teenagers. And while you may be superheroes, you are teen supers. And they have little to no respect for teen supers because teen supers are teenagers with superpowers.
Okay.
And even Sarah Sparks, who you think commands some respect, she's not known to be a legacy hero, so she can't call on that.
Okay. Wow.
What if you get arrested and they take your mask off?
That'd be pretty terrible, wouldn't it? Yeah. Let's see. So Rampage is down or is getting back up. What's happening with Rampage?
Rampage is pretty much just laying on her back in the parking lot, but otherwise untouched.
Okay.
Like, Rampage is clearly getting up for round 2.
Okay. Oh man. Kind of torn on whether we should just try to get out of here and let them deal with Rampage, or whether we need to, like, do we know, like, at this point we saw Rampage take down Dynamo so quickly.
Yeah.
That like I'd probably be afraid that he'd just go straight through these police.
Yeah. Yeah, but danger of 2.
Yeah.
Get a mundane of 2. Get a freak of -1.
I think at this point, like, is everyone else rushing out there, or what's, like, I'm just
Dynamo is still upstairs.
Okay.
You see that Sarah has just leapt down and is moving towards the police, and looks like Overclock's gonna take on Rampage by himself.
I haven't been able to find, is there any kind of, like, just like assist move in this, or like setup move?
Here's how you assist. So what you can do is, let's say somebody goes to make a roll. You can do the comfort and support action to change their labels. Or the easier way is you've got 2 team in the team pool.
Right.
And you can say that you're assisting them and spend up to 1 of those team to give them a +1. And you can do that after they roll.
Okay.
So do you want to hold and see what happens with Overclock? You think it's overclocked?
Yeah, I think maybe so. Yeah, because I've got a couple of ideas how to handle this, but I don't know if she's, like, frontline person at the moment.
Well, let's see. Overclock, you're laying down there. Rampage rolls up and says, okay.
And
You a robot?
At that point, Overclock spends his last burn to do his worship move.
Okay.
And basically, he all of a sudden you see his body warp, and basically it looks like 50 cannons sort of warp out of his body and arms and point directly at her and go, "Does it really matter?"
And what is that? What does the move do?
It's the last of my flares, and what the worship move does is you put out a tremendous display of your might. Spend 1 burn to awe an audience into silence, respect, and attention when you unleash your powers.
And she'll stop, and she'll do this with her fists. Doesn't move in, waits. So robot or no?
I'm not sure why that matters, but no.
Good.
What the heck are you guys doing in there? What were you doing with those people? Is this some sort of weird hostage thing?
She puts her hand out and does the 2 fingers. You've got her attention.
Okay. Let's see. Overclock will move to directly engage a threat. He's going to try and basically take her out.
Okay. Woo. Come in. What powers do we see you bring to bear?
I think basically first off he's firing like a burst from all of these cannons. So it's basically just like this of energy bursts and electrical pulses to try and destabilize her or throw her off balance, and then he's going to try and speed in for like an up close super strength takedown.
Absolutely. Let's have you roll with danger.
Okay. I've got angry, guilty, and insecure. I can't remember if either of those affect
Let's
directly
see.
engage.
Directly engage is afraid.
Okay, so none of those affect that. So I roll with my danger, which is +2, so that's not terrible. Could still go terribly wrong.
No chance that you could fail.
There's almost a good chance that. Oh no, it's a 10.
That is a 10. So you get to pick 2.
I'm going to resist or avoid the blows, and then I'm going to take something from him. I'm going to basically take her right back down, flat on her back again.
Okay.
Like basically the all the bursts of energy and stuff kind of throw her off balance. Those don't really hurt her all that much. They just sort of pepper and kind of distract her. And then the what really takes her out is the super speed and super strength punch that basically flops her right back down on the ground where she was.
And she will smash her into the ground. Doesn't feel like you do that much to her, but you do knock her down. And she is, when she hits that ground, you will see her reach over and rip up a section of this asphalt, and she flings it, and you see it arc over towards the police cars.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to defend them. I'm going to dive over and pull them out of the way.
Okay. Let's have you roll with defend with savior.
That is a 12.
That is a 12. So you keep them safe and choose one. Add team to the pool, take influence, clear a condition.
I'm actually going to take influence over the police. Yeah.
Certainly over these the officers that you saved.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Not the police as a whole, just the police who are on the scene.
Absolutely. Okay. Allie, what do you do? And then I'm going to come back up to Dynamo.
Yeah. All right. So Dynamo is on top of Rampage at the moment, and Rampage
Overclock is on top of
Overclock. Sorry, Overclock is on top of Rampage. I think at this point, like, she realizes she has to step in and help, and I think she's going to try to directly engage the threat here. What you're going to see, I think, is so like Rampage is lying on the ground, like maybe head turned to the side, like cheek almost on the ground. You're going to see Allie drop to her knees on the pavement, make a fist, and like basically look like she's going to like punch the ground. And you see her hand sink right into it. Sorry, I knocked my headphones out. I got too excited. You see her hand sink up like practically to her elbow, and then you see a fist made of concrete, rise up right under his cheek and basically trying to deliver a real, solid shot to the jaw there.
Perfect. Let's have you roll danger.
Okay. Let's see. All right. 9 plus my danger. That is an 11.
That is an 11, so you get to pick 2.
All right. I am going to I'm going to resist their blows and create an opportunity for my allies here.
Okay. Yeah, you do hit her, and she sees you change. She sees you transform, and kind of change back. And you see her kind of roll up from that. And she's tall, and she kind of brings herself up, and she says to you, I used to be able to change. Hope you don't get stuck. me.
I think there's you actually see a panel of like kind of a slack-jawed kind of like fear response from her at this point, from Allie.
Dynamo, opportunity's been opened up. This person who got you just in a moment of just a lucky strike here.
Of course,
is down, and your teammates have set you up.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to power up one of the cars and send it at Rampage.
Okay. Let's have you roll with danger.
Danger? Okay. All right. Yeah, no.
What do you got?
3.
So no amount of team is going to help with that.
Nope.
So you power that up, and that car comes flying at her, and she sees that out of the corner of her eye. The good news is you get to mark potential.
Hey, I get an advance.
The bad news is that she catches that car, lifts that car up, sees the crackle of electricity on it, sees you, and absolutely just from the ground throws it at you. Take the powerful blow.
And I bet anything I will roll double digits this time.
Now, I'm going to just stop you. Hang on. We're going to roll back here for a second. Let's look at this. You had a 3, right?
Uh-huh.
No, you've got the police. You've got an audience. You've got stage fighting.
Oh, okay.
You would roll with superior, not with danger.
So if I go with, I'll do that instead. I'll take angry as my condition.
Okay.
And then going with superior instead, I have a 7.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you will hit them, and you get to pick one: resist their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress and surprise.
I'm far enough away. I want to resist their blows.
Yeah, she does. She gets hit by that car, and she flings it at you, but doesn't make contact. Sarah. Yeah. I just was like, hey, I knew that you had something to make that better. So, Sarah, what do we know here? What are you doing?
I think I'm going to engage Rampage and just try to set her up for one of my teammates.
Okay. So essentially, you are
I'm directly engaging, but pulling my punches, so I can roll with superior.
Okay, let's have you go ahead and do that.
Okay, that is a 6. Unless somebody would like to spend a team to help me out.
I think Overclock is right there, directly engaging her as well. So I think Overclock provides enough of a distraction by basically throwing out shots at her that it helps you out enough to pull that out of the fire.
Right. Okay. And I get close enough. I do my dazzle fist right in front of her eyes. I take her by surprise, and I'm taking away her sight temporarily. She is blinded.
Okay. And it still inflicts a condition on them because you trade that blows. So I think that is that thing is we get that panel of you getting up with the dazzle fist. We see Overclock aiding. Allie's moved up, maybe finally got herself together, and there's still the revving cars coming this way, and Rampage will drop to the ground, just overwhelmed by the blows, and goes out. And
now, since I didn't choose to resist her blows, does that mean I take a hit while this is?
Yep, you need to roll. Take a powerful blow.
Okay, and I get to roll against Savior because of my special move, and that is also a 6.
Okay. So you get to mark potential.
Right. Okay.
What is it that allows you to weather that blow?
Well, my suit has some body armor in it, and it's just a glancing blow. So, I mean, I go flying, but I'm enough of an acrobat.
Oh, I'm sorry, you rolled a 6 with the never give up, never surrender.
Yeah.
So you go down hard.
Oh, right. I go down hard. That's right.
All right, just realize that you still get.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was.
So
Yeah.
go, mark a condition.
All right. I'll mark insecure because I should have been able to dodge that one.
And it is that thing, is that last sort of, it's not even a directed blow. It's just that arm going out will smack and send you flying.
Right. Yeah. And I should have been able to tuck and roll, but I mean, I land. There's some bit of rubble from the battle, and I just smack my head on something.
And you are there. The police are coming over the area. They're talking to their buddies who almost got hit by that flying asphalt. They're moving up cautiously. They're calling in essentially for the Gauntlet City containment team. They're not calling for Aeon because this is actually police, matter. So they were actually calling for the cops. They're like, what is going on here? See this lieutenant comes up, clearly a little frazzled. This is not the kind of thing that happens in Millennium Heights. It's gentrified. They don't even have a Starbucks here. It's all cafes. It's all coffee houses that have shows on the weekends. So what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, and ordinarily I would answer for the team, but I'm unconscious, so
yeah.
I think see, Overclock is right there. I think Dynamo was still up on the roof, right?
Yeah, I'd fly down.
Okay. Before we answer what's going on there, I just want to clarify: have they seen any of the people scattering, or have the police noticed the people that are trying to escape?
Do you want to keep them from seeing them?
I do.
Then let me have you roll defend.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
That is with Savior.
Yeah. And I think I'm not sure how I would do that yet, but I guess just trying to get up and make sure that they are looking at me and hearing me instead of them. That's
transforming, making yourself freakish, drawing their attention.
Yeah, I think I'm gone in full asphalt mode. So I basically look like I've got an entire asphalt body, and I'm just walk up to them and say, something that we found these villains here. One escaped, but this one seemed to be doing something. We're not sure what, but we tried to stop him. And I don't mention the people.
Roll defense.
I rolled and got a 10, and that's with which Savior?
That is with Savior.
So Savior's a 0. I got a 10.
Yeah, you keep their attention. They don't realize that there was anyone else here. They think it's some kind of villain's lair.
Mm-hmm.
They will the containment unit comes. The medics come. Of course there'll be. There are rapid response superhero news teams that are on the site right away. And they will run over to you, Overclock, Alley, and then they go past you and they go over to where Dynamo is at. Essentially they're trying to get an interview with the former member of Break 23, who seems to be operating now in Gauntlet City.
I think Overclock's going to head over to Sarah. He's a little pissed off that it looks like they're focusing on Dynamo, but he sees that Sarah's really hurt, and he's going to focus on that.
Okay. Is it just hit your head? Did you twist something? What do you think, Sarah?
I mean, I think I hit my head, and I blacked out for a while, and like it's now I'm coming to, but like my pupils are different sizes, and I'm a little loopy.
And Overclock is there helping you up.
Yeah.
I think the camera people are here talking to Bright Boy over there. They I don't think the cops noticed anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I think I look at the situation, and I mean, I'm going to ask Overclock to whip up a hoverboard to get me out of there, and signal Mimic to leave quietly while Dynamo's got everyone's attention.
Okay, and I think Mimic Overclock signals to Mimic, like he gives her the cutthroat and get the heck out of here gesture, and then he creates a quick hoverboard, and he and Sarah away.
Mimic, do you want to get out of here?
Yeah, I think I look and I see that, and I'm like, I guess that's my cue. And I probably sink into the concrete and probably pop up behind the cops, like behind their vehicles, and kind of slip away.
Okay. And Dynamo, how do you feel when you look around and you see the rest of your team is gone?
Not great, but yeah. So, but he'll still face the cameras, and I really couldn't have done it without them. They're seem like I'm being humble, but really just
Yeah, and I think that they are playing you up as being the big person who did this, that you are the superior hero here. They're playing that up. Do you want to accept what your audience is saying to you, that you should drop your mundane and raise your superior up?
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah. I just play into it, and
and
that's me. I'm a superstar. That's
the good news is you can clear a condition then.
Good. So I will get rid of. I got to get rid of angry.
Okay, calm down. Do we want to do a scene with the group together after that?
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is that okay? The three of you definitely there. How long before Dynamo shows up, do you think, Dynamo?
Probably not too long. Like, he takes a couple questions and then kind of excuses himself.
Takes off.
Yeah.
So we probably, when we come in, we see you putting, whatever meta patch you have from your kit on your forehead, I assume, Sarah.
Not really. I mean, I heal quickly.
Okay.
So I'll be okay. I'll be okay in a couple of days. So it's like I may have like a bandage, or is a little abrasion, but
You heal quickly. Do you have meta-human ability to heal, or is it just human level of superior human level?
I mean, I was thinking.
Is some of Flag Weaver's whatever super soldier term, is that passed down?
Yeah, I was thinking that it's not explicitly listed as an ability, but I was thinking that everyone sort of in my lineage we're just a little bit more, we're just a little bit extra.
You're the height of human potential. All right. And then before you guys really have a chance to kind of debrief, decompress, Dynamo will show up.
Yeah.
The only person who doesn't look like they got knocked for a loop is Allie.
Hey, Overclock still looks pretty good, and he's beaming from getting to make the hoverboard too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I just look at him and I say, look, those were civilians in there. You charged in, you started a major combat. Somebody could have been seriously hurt. This team has a leader for a reason. When I say hold back, you hold back. And I mean, I'm trying to shift his danger up and his savior down.
Okay, so you are using your influence to change those labels. What do you think, Dynamo? Suddenly, this person comes at you hard.
I don't know. I kind of want to go with it, but I also kind of want to come back at him. Let me. This is the influence, right?
Yeah, so you would be rejecting influence.
Yeah.
And that is a little tough because you do have insecure marked.
Yeah.
But you could try it.
Yeah, I want to try and reject the influence and say, maybe if I had somebody that would back me up like my other team did, then it would have actually worked out.
All right. So let's have you roll with a -2.
Hey, a good old 3.
So the good news is you get to mark potential. The bad news is you also have to mark a condition.
Hopeless.
And I'm going to move superior back down by 1 because the GM gets to do this now. And I'm going to move your danger up 1.
It's fair.
So what does it look like when you just kind of don't respond well to this?
He kind of attacks back and then is just, you know what, you're right. It was a dumb move. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been lost. I just give me time to get back into this, and I'm sorry. I'll be more controlled next time.
Okay, and I nod, and it's like, okay.
Allie, how do you react to all this? I mean, to Sarah dressing Dynamo down.
I think it was justified, but I also like this is a new teammate. Like, so I think Allie actually might come up and try to like kind of put a hand on your shoulder, Dynamo, and be like, hey, we all, you know, you're new on the team. We all make mistakes. As long as we figure out how to work together, you know, I still think you could be a good member of the team. I think I'm trying to do the comfort or support move, just trying to comfort you and help you kind of deal with this. So I'm gonna roll mundane. Yeah.
Something you should be pretty good at.
Yeah. Ooh, except I rolled terribly. Let's see. I got a 6.
Okay. So the good news is you get to mark potential.
Hey,
Okay, that's an advance.
Actually, could we spend that last team?
Yeah, actually, if you're, but it's up to you whether you accept the team or not. What do you think, Allie?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would definitely accept it. Yeah, any like just as the character would definitely accept the help to try and like get a team on board, get them feeling okay, get them, you know, help them. Like, yeah.
Okay. So you can, Dynamo, you can mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if you open up to her.
I will clear a condition. And what do I need to open up about?
You tell me. What are you going to admit?
I always, I always wanted to be a hero, but I wasn't quite as powerful as the other people that were on my team, and without them to kind of hold me up, I guess I need to work better at doing this with you guys and not on my own. But it'll take some time, but I'll get it. I'll be a hero, hopefully.
And Overclock, do you certainly help there with the team pool? Do you feel a twinge of sympathy? What are you thinking right now?
I think how Overclock threw in that team is I think Overclock sort of says almost under his breath, but just loud enough, I think, for everybody to hear. I'm just glad it wasn't me that screwed it up this time.
I think that's a good end of issue note. Sarah, did you go closer to the team, grow into your image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
I think I actually grew away from the team at the end there because I feel like I screwed up, and I dressed this guy down, and the rest of the team sort of. It looks like they think I was too hard on him. So
take influence over you away from another character.
Okay, I'm gonna take influence away from Dynamo.
Okay. Dynamo, did you grow closer to the team, grow into your image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
I would probably say closer to the team.
Okay. Then who really made you feel welcome?
Definitely Allie at the end there.
Okay. So you would give influence to Allie. Does Allie already have influence over you?
Allie already has influence.
Then Allie can shift your labels.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. I'm interested in taking. So you've okay. I think maybe your superior down and your savior up. I think that might make sense a little bit here.
Okay.
Like kind of in a team, like a helping-minded kind of thing, as opposed to just you on your own.
That sounds good. So savior goes to 2, superior goes to 0, right?
Yeah, I just need you to click off the box so I can change it.
Oh. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And you took potential, or did you clear condition?
I took potential, but I should clear condition.
Okay.
Okay.
To 0. All right. So that brings us to Allie. Allie, did you grow closer, grow into your image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
I think it's more of growing into my image of myself.
Okay.
I think I used my power successfully in a couple of interesting ways that made me feel kind of maybe feel a little more comfortable in my skin, whether it's normal skin or asphalt.
So you may shift your labels.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
I think that would make sense to go. I think I'm feeling like less of a freak, so I would go. Do I take that to 0? If I was going to would I take that to 0 or move it up in order to do that, or not?
It's whatever. A freak is about how much you're in tune with your powers, how much you see yourself as a super in some ways.
Okay, so higher means you're more in tune with your powers.
More
and
in
stuff.
tune with that, more sense of those things.
I'm going to move that up, and I'm going to move my mundane down.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, Overclock, closer, own image, or away?
I'm thinking like he's grown closer to the team because I think he feels like he's more of a part of it now.
Okay.
He felt like he would add some positive involvement again.
Who made you feel welcome?
I think perversely, it's Dynamo.
Okay.
Because Dynamo showed up as like the pretty boy, the focus of all the cameras, and then he like blew it right in front of me, and then I got to pick up the pieces, and so it just like, hey, I'm still useful.
So
Happy to be a failure.
So
that's from his perspective. He's like, he was a little bit pissed that Sarah was so focused on you, and then you like did a couple of things that Sarah didn't like, and so he got to like come up and do really cool stuff, and that made him feel a lot better about being part of the team.
nice. And then Overclock, you get to clear a condition or mark potential.
Okay, I think I'm going to clear condition. I think I'm going to clear insecure.
Okay. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight. We will check in at the beginning of next session. John, thank you for joining us. Are you going to be with us in month 2? Or do you not know your schedule yet?
I should be, hopefully.
Okay.
I don't know definitively what my schedule is, but I'm here's hoping.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll take the character columns and I'll move them over another sheet so we have that saved. So you'll have all that stuff ready when you join us. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
And thank you for dropping in at the last minute. We were going to have Stephen, but the con that he's at had a bunch of things for him to do unexpectedly. So that's why he did that. Next time, I'll check at the beginning of the session, and I want to ask everybody what they want to see. What are the things they want to follow up on, and we'll kind of get those kind of highlighted so we can run through that. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to stop the broadcast.